Hello everyone, it's Brett here, Lionheart84, and we're looking at today, and it's the 20th of November. These are my allegedly Morris Burton persimmons. Now, the reason I say allegedly, of course, is because you're reliant on the grower over here to have labelled his grafted plants correctly and not got the scions mixed up. But this is claimed to be the American persimmon Morris Burton, but I know that the grower at the time, they don't seem to have persimmons anymore, but they had about 2 or 3 American varieties and 2 or 3 hybrids. Like I think they sold Russian Beauty, which I think is a synonym for Rossianka, which I believe is a hybrid persimmon between Asian and American, so slightly bigger, because some people have thought these might be a little bit too big for Morris Burton. I don't know, they're about 2.5, between 1.5 and 2.5 inches across, depending on size. These are being grown in a container here. Now, we haven't had any frost, but I've decided to cut these off because frankly they feel, I tried one a couple of weeks ago, they feel as if they're very close to maturity even without having had any frosts, because normally you need to frost them to make them a little bit softer. But my concern is this plant had a few very small fruits on last year. I mean, they were barely an inch, and I left them on the tree, and I left them on and left them on, and in the end they became so soft that they pulled away from the calyx and dropped off the tree, which spoiled the fruits. So I thought it would be better to cut these off today, which I'm going to do in a minute. I haven't got 3 hands, so I can't cut them off and hold the camera and support the fruits, but I'm going to cut these off in a minute, have a quick look at them in a bowl, and then I'm going to leave them inside to hopefully continue to ripen until they're soft, and then we can try them in probably another week or two's time. So I may put out the video when I actually do the tasting. We'll wait and see. So let me stop the video and I'll cut these off. Right, so here we are with them. So you can see there's not much variation in size. This is the smallest one here, and I suppose this one's the largest one. Now the tree has produced, which is kind of its first year of producing anything, and because we got that late frost this year, this tree and most of the others all had their flowers wrecked, but this tree did produce a few flowers later on, which has resulted in these fruits. Now I actually had a total of 8, one of which I tasted a couple of weeks ago prematurely to see if it was astringent, and one of which I've left on the tree out of interest because I'd like to see if the birds or squirrels are interested, because I did net bag these this year, which is not time consuming if you've got 8, but if you had sort of started to get trees producing 15-20 fruits on, it could be a bit of a drag. So what I thought I'd do is leave 1 fruit on the tree to see what happens, because we haven't had any frost yet, to see if it softens the fruit more or ripens it better when it's tree ripened after the frost, and also to see if the birds and squirrels do get to it at all. Now I would say that frankly these are starting to wrinkle slightly now. I would think some of these are very close to being edible. They've got some give on them, so I thought it would be fun to cut one of these open, have a look inside it, and perhaps taste it and see what its sweetness level's like now compared to the one I had a couple of weeks ago. So let me just see if I can manage to do this, if it's soft enough to cut left-handed. Easier said than done. It's quite promising. It's not proving too difficult to cut through. Now they're certainly not jellified inside, but that doesn't look bad at all to me. Be interested to see if there's any sweetness in them. So I'll see if I can manage to work out how to flip this phone camera around and see if I can manage to hold it in a holder so that I can do a short tasting video. So I'll be back to you in a minute. Right, so here we go. I don't know if this is going to be, I mean this is soft, so theoretically it shouldn't be astringent, but we'll see. It's quite a nice colour flesh. It's very thick and sticky, the flesh. No real astringency in it, but disappointingly not really very sweet as far as I can tell. It's hard to tell because it's such a gooey texture. I can't even give you a Brix reading on it. It's an interesting flavour. There's still some astringency there in parts of the fruit. So although it seems to be softening, it's not ripe at all. I tried to do a Brix reading before I did this part of the video just to see if I could get one on this, and it's too thick and gooey to do a Brix reading. You'd probably have to mix the pulp with water and blend it, and then that's going to water it down, so it's not going to be an accurate reading. So there's definitely some astringency still in it. So the other 5 I'm going to leave out in the fruit bowl. I could try freezing one of them and see what that does, but I'm going to leave the 5 in the fruit bowl. Yeah, I can definitely taste the astringency in it, but it's not bad. They're getting better. But I'll leave the other 5 in a fruit bowl, perhaps with an apple, for a week or so, and see if I can leave them until they get jelly, turn that translucent colour and get a sort of a jelly texture to them, at which point the astringency should all be gone, and it might be possible to get a Brix reading as well. But I can certainly feel that, what I call furriness or floweriness on my lips, but it's very minor on this one. When you get a really bad one that's well under ripe, it's almost impossible to talk afterwards, so not too bad. But definitely they're going to sit now in a bowl for a week or so, and we'll see what happens to them. And we might do another tasting if they get to what I think is an edible stage. So thanks for watching the video, much appreciate it. Please give me a thumbs up. Please do remember to share the video if you think anybody would be interested. Please subscribe to my channel. And remember to click on the bell if you like updates on new videos when they come out. I'll catch up with you all in the next video. Brett out for now.